cola headed the state and I cannot be demoted. I put his head on the stake and make him hold it to all the meter. Can't say too many ways that I need her. It's a bread on the plate, she a eater. Need some bread on the plate for the feature. I'm a beast, look boy, I'm a creature. Ain't no money to make for me being tame. For I tell on myself I'm a plea insane. There's some folks in here with me, yo, keep it chained. And I swear they keep talking all around my head, I hear it all day. I hope nobody don't tell the end alright. Cause I'm a sin in the hell and then y'all wait. Gon' probably send me to hell, I need peace sign. For my shoulder, devils on east side. I'm who's stronger, man, I'm getting deep fried. But I'm colder than a white polar until I'm over. Trying to stay woke in a high full of sleepers. I can leave earth anytime, no allegiance. Fuck all these hoes on that line too egregious. Had to be real one time for the region. I cannot get peace someday. Or just a little sleep someday. I know we gon' eat someday. And if the time divine, it won't be too late. Now it's a balance I've been trying to figure. In and out at times in my little feelings. My Valentine ain't want no dealings. And I can't blame you about that really. Cause ain't too much stable going on. Ain't nobody to save you on your own. I done took out a page from Rolling Stones. Advice might shorten the days and write the songs. Meanwhile, I'll engage in other things. Dazing off the other dreams. Another page, another ream. And I still can't explain just what I see. Maybe I went made to walk, the wings fell off. And now I'm trapped inside the thought. They birthed the flaw. Glad they brought the church to talk. Cause I need something to believe in. So make me believe. Keep talking all around my head, I hear it all day. I hope nobody don't tell the end alright. Cause I'm a sin in the hell and then y'all wait. Gon' probably send me to hell, I need peace sign. For my shoulder, devils on east side. Now who's stronger, man, I'm getting deep fried. But I'm colder than a white polar until I'm over. Trying to stay.
Took a deal, signed another deal, post up in the hills on the rail, headed for a mill, travel with me still, getting kills, all this pop appeal, got these pop stars try popping in, and they getting pop for real, I ain't tryna build, I was tryna lead a meal, getting to it, before I hopped up off the block, I was still going through it, friends doing pills, and came faster than it should've, I was Buddy Hill, shooting at a pace soon as I pull up, dropping buckets, yeah, like it's nothing. In the kitchen chopping onions, yeah. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming. Cause I'm dropping buckets, ay, yeah. Like it's nothing, ay. Earn my respect and burn a budget, ay. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby. Yeah, I'm dropping buckets. Drop some cash for me, don't worry about my past for me. I'm driving with no gasoline, this life I live's a fantasy. Yeah, I do this for my dogs, all my day ones and my family. My life gon' live through them if I end up in any tragedies. I hope y'all understand this shit got bigger cause it had to be. I always knew I had it, but just not at this capacity. I recognize the gravity, closer to the summit, stacking chips and counting nuggets. I've been stunting, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets. Hey, yeah, like it's nothing. Ay, in the kitchen chopping onions. Ay, tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming. Cause I'm dropping buckets. Ay, yeah, like it's nothing. Ay, earn my respect and burn a budget. Ay, tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby. Cause I'm dropping buckets. Earn my respect and burn a budget. Tears falling down, underdog is finally overcoming, baby, cause I'm dropping buckets.
I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it before you get it like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip attack games. In my own league, I don't chase game. In my own league, I don't hang with lanes. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me. Feeling like Stretch where I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat, excuse me. Better up, get some. Swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun. Every pitch a home run. Stack a couple tickets just to leave it to my son. Take it back while I be gone. Small city kid couldn't dream a bigger one. A marathon, never run. Check the scoreboard, how I'm feeling like I won. I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat, excuse me. Three, two, one. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip a dial to a million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. It's a new day, days been new. Been a decade since I made it out of rent too. Need some bonus, baby, we don't got no rent due. My trick, but my wife, you like the trick too. Merry Christmas, hey, Saint Nick. What we want, get, we on wait list. How we got here doesn't make sense. Have patience, that'll make sense. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip a dial to a million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. Picking up the slack, joining this prime way, I'm getting to the rack. I do what I want, when I want, where I want, no cap. Put in all work, now I'm getting to the back. 25-8, I got money on my mind. Live life great, but I'm always on the grind. Navy blue tank, I don't wear it for the time. Real hustler, baby, throw my rollie in the sky.
Get ready for blast off.
Ball pointing cushy, so you know it's berserk. Trevor on the mix, so you know we gon' work. I might leave in one, find a beach and go surf. I'ma ride the wave till I'm out of the surf. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip a dial to a million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Hey, listen, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, we ain't gonna have no mute monster this week, ladies and gentlemen. I am so happy to be here, man. I love you guys always and forever. So, guys, I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button. 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 All right. All right, hit it because it helps the channel. It helps with the algorithm, man. We want everybody to know what we're doing over here. And I want you guys to share this. Hit the subscribe button if it's your first time here. Share this channel with 2 people you love and 3 people you despise. All right, 2 people you love and 3 people you despise, because we want people who hate us in this in this show with us, and we want people who agree with us in this area as well. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. I want to start out with the let's see who we got in the sanctuary today, in the Coliseum today for this fight. We got Catelia in the building. She said, "What's up, Black Men Unfiltered Network? What's up, Sugarfoot?" All right, we got Edward Gilbert in the building tonight. What's going on, Ed? We got A-Team in the building tonight. Listen, Catelia and A-Team, who are taking care of this channel in the chat. So I appreciate you guys for being great. And we have Milani in the chat as well. who is the new moderator as well. So thank you so much. You three ladies, I trust you to death. And I know you're going to do the best in the chat, so I don't have to worry about nothing. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all three of you. Much love to you. We got King Ball 111 in the building. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Edward. Okay, I already said Edward. 18. Marriage, Politics, and Sports is in the building. Let's see here. What We Know Podcast is in the building. All right, let's see. All right, that's what we got so far. As people continue to come in, moderators, make sure you greet them. Let them know our goal tonight for this show is $100 because it costs to be the boss. Let me say it again. It costs to be the boss. What you're watching right now has to be paid for. Let me say it again. What you're watching right now has to be paid for. And so you guys can give by and help the channel continue to grow by giving a Cash App. And the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now. As you can see, I'm going to brighten it up for you guys so you guys can see it. When you do send a Cash App, I will call your name. I will shout you out. If you leave a message with it, I definitely will read the message that you send with the Cash App as well. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We need 10 people, $10. That's simple. 10 people, $10, and that will cover the show for tonight. All right. Let's see here. 1 second. Oh, if you want to join the panel tonight, make sure your camera is on. We have the link pinned at the top of the chat if you want to come up and have some words to say about the subject matter tonight. The subject matter tonight, by the way, is reparations in 3 years. If only the church would. What are we going to talk about? We're going to get into it in just a second. So again, 10 people, $10 that will cover the show for tonight. Show your love for the channel because we're doing great things over here. So go ahead and send to the first person that sends one. I'm going to go ahead and shout you out. And I'm going to play you something. I got a new video in here, JT. Yeah, I got a new video in here I want to play. So the first person that sends that, I'll go ahead and play it for you guys. All right. Let me go ahead and start bringing up my fam that's in the back right now. I got the fellas that's going to rock it out with me tonight. I am your host, BMU, the troublemaker. I'm going to bring up the rest of the guys tonight. All right. The first guy I'm going to bring up is my brother from another mother, JT from What We Know Podcast is in the building. Yes, sir.
What's up, bro? What's up?
What's going on, my boy?
What's happening, my man? What's going on?
Man, I can't tell it, bro. I had your hands. I'll throw mine away.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Look at our pain. He brought himself up. God dang.
Damn,
Hey,
he did that again.
Man, let me greet this man. Let me get him in here. Our pain in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. All right, man. Thank you so much, Our Pain, for being here tonight. I appreciate you, my brother. All right. Last but not least, until the other guys show up and show out. But the last but not least, man, you know him, the most controversial man on YouTube. Give it up for yours truly. Tyrus is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it with all of my 23 followers.
Yeah. Now we got Dre Blanchard in the building. He said, "Evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Dre." All right, I appreciate it. Now listen, we got how many people watching? We got 11 people watching. If 11 people give $10, we cover this whole show for tonight. If those 11 people put $10 in their Cash App, we cover the show for tonight. All right, I appreciate it. So guys, I want to see how you guys are doing. JT, what's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. What's going on with you, bro? I'm over here, delighted. It's Tuesday, everybody. What's going on, Our Pain? What's going on, Tyrus? Salute to my brothers and salute everybody in the chat.
Absolutely. Our Pain, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, man, everything's cool. You can't complain. Had a decent time yesterday, so.
Okay. You got some yesterday?
Said what?
Nothing. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw Our Pain was getting his boogie on yesterday.
Yeah, get his boogie on.
Do a little Trump dance, man. You know, at the end.
Yeah. Hey, John Jones, man. Listen, John Jones a bad man. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that Friday. Tyrus, what's going on, my guy? How's your family? How's everything going, my brother?
Man, everything's good, man. Finally, the Cavs finally lost tonight against the Celtics. A little bit salty, but overall, so far, a great season, man.
Oh, man, I missed that game. Damn it.
Yeah, man. Well, I know football was really good this past weekend. My New Orleans Saints just stomped the shit out of the Cleveland Browns, so I just want to make sure, you know.
I didn't jump off a bridge. I'm good.
Good, man. So again, man, thank you guys for being here. if you want to come on, guys, go ahead and hit the when you come in, hit the like button, subscribe button. Also, if you want to be on the panel, lady or male, hit the link. Come on up. Let's have a discussion. Shout out to my boy Lost in Translation, man, as he continues to rest and be in relaxation. Shout out to him tonight. Also, shout out to our little skinny bone brother. I'm trying to get it out without laughing. I'm trying to get it out. Our little skinny bone brother, our little Steven Seagal stunt double. Boss man, we shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you, man. We appreciate you, Tevin Campbell, for all that you do for the network. and we hope you watch it, man. Shout out to you, man. We got you don't come, goddamn. We got something for you. But no, seriously though, Lit is not who has been feeling well, and he needs to get some rest. So we're praying for him to get his rest and relaxation and come back stronger than ever. Also, boss man, Lil Tevin, he is also not feeling well tonight either. So he has a migraine. So make sure if you praying, people just pray for him as well, that he recovers and come back stronger than ever. So we got Lil Tevin out, and we got Terrence Howard brother out. They both should be back in a little bit.
They'll be back, man. They're gonna be back, man.
We're back, man.
They're gonna be back, man.
Look.
In the clouds.
In the clouds. All right, man. So we got Terrence Howard, little brother, and Tevin Campbell cousin. They out tonight. And we want to make sure that we send our prayers to them, man. We love them. And Lost in Translation and Boss Man, man. We'll see y'all later on this week. All right. R-Pain, you had a really good show on Monday, man. So that was a really good show. I like how you presented it. You finally followed the instructions to a T. I was like, look at him. He didn't come a long way. Look at my boy. Damn. I was to look at the screen. I had tears rolling down my eyes. Man, he finally got it together. But R-Pain, you did a great job yesterday. That show was great. If you haven't watched it, please go back on this network. Yesterday, he had a show on yesterday. It was a really, really, really good show talking about DEI hires, such as Kamala Harris. All right. So I want to get into a conversation, but I want to start out with an icebreaker because we need to smile and laugh first. Somebody made a video, which I think is amazing. In the video, they're discussing what happened. Oh, Melania, your birthday tomorrow? That make her what? You a Scorpio, Melania? Because my birthday is on Thanksgiving Day this year.
No, she's what is it? No, yeah, she's still a Scorpio. Yeah,
she gotta be.
Right,
yeah, my birthday is on. Happy birthday, Melania. My birthday is on Thanksgiving Day, so you niggas get that $10 tonight. So I won't have to ask your ass for it next week because I'll be in New Orleans for Thanksgiving because the Bayou Classic going on at the hometown, baby. So I got to be there because that's the black mecca of STIs, goodbyes, and big ties. All right.
I wonder if my daughter gonna be there, man. I'm pretty sure she going.
She's still in New Orleans?
Yeah, my daughter stays. She
So see, I lost in translation. I knew it was something, motherfucker. See, Lost in Translation birthday is the 27th. Mine is the 28th. So his is Wednesday. Mine is Thursday. So yeah, I knew it.
Oh, y'all Sagittarius like a mother.
Man. Yeah, man. I knew that's why we get along so well. Yeah, man. Yeah. Terrence Howard, little brother. All right, man.
My birthday on the 27th, man.
27th, man. All right, but I want to play this video because I think I want to say this before I play the video. I think that Similac has ruined our children. Whoa! Catellia said her birthday is November 23rd. She's a Sagittarius. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, leave. What? Okay.
Wow. Melania, you almost made it. You almost made it, Melania, to a Sagittarius, baby, but you're still good. But I think Similac fucked our children up. I think the fact that they drunk milk and not breast milk, something happened. Something happened to our boys where they became super, super feminine. And I want to play this video, and I think it describes everything as our icebreaker tonight. Let's pay attention. Watch closely. Here we go.
Accurate.
Oh.
Is this video accurate?
It is super accurate. That's just so damn accurate.
Tyrus. Let's start with Tyrus first. Tyrus. I can't stop it.
It's up there. It's up there with the accuracy.
Is it accurate? Tyrus, come on now. Talk to me.
It's up there. It's definitely some truth to that. For sure.
Okay, hold on. So the people, so look, Cordelia, you got, come on now, you got some agency here. She says she want to see it again. She says she want to see it one more time. Here we go. Oh my God. Let me take it back. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Accurate.
Oh.
That man flopped like he was James Harden, bro.
He turned into a gunshot.
Pain, what happened to our children? Why boys like this, man? What happened to our boys, man?
Hey, man, I don't know, man. I think of the shit that we used to do when we were young.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely maddening what people do now.
Yep.
I mean, I think they think we were crazy for the shit that we used to do back then. Forget about it.
Oh my God, bro. That shit was man.
Yeah, well.
JT?
Bro, I don't on this network, I was telling stories about when I was young, how many bikes that I trashed, right? Jumping ramps. Literally, I knocked the wind out myself. Man, I'm telling you, if you had kids that was doing what we was doing back then, bro, their parents would be mad. Their parents be trying to press charges on the damn shit that we was building. I built a ramp, had no business building a ramp that damn big for one. It was about 10 of us that built it. Took us about 3-4 hours to build that damn ramp. And I was one of the first ones to be the guinea pig to jump that damn ramp. I trashed the bike. I knocked the wind out myself. You know when you get hurt back then as a kid, the only thing you do is just you drag your bike and you just walk your ass home. And now the fucked up part was I was like 5 blocks away from the house. So imagine my cry was going all the way walking 5 blocks down the street to my damn house, man. But I was all right. You know what I did after I got my shit back together?
What's that?
First and foremost, me and a friend of mine welded my bike back together. I'm 9 years old. What we doing with a goddamn, and it was a meat welder too. What we doing with that? Some 9 and 10-year-old kids with that. Welded the bike back together again. The next day, I jumped it.
Hey, you know, since we sharing stories, man, listen, we were at this high school, it was closed on a Saturday, had a little basketball court we went to play for. One of the guys went on the top of the roof of the annex. It was pretty high.
Damn.
And he had a whole bunch of bottles. And we were playing dodge the bottles as he threw the bottles at us from the roof. He was throwing bottles at us from the roof. And we got we played dodge the bottles. And one of them caught me on the head, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Dumbass.
No, it was more than just, it was just ass.
Have y'all ever, Arpain, have you ever had taken the shingles off the roof and flew it at each other?
No.
The
bottles are bad enough.
Yeah, I had a cut right across here, right across my eye. You can't see it too much no more because I got a lot of cocoa butter and shit I used to always wear back in the day. But everybody had bruises, and you know how those shingles. I don't know if you ever throw a shingle, it's like a frisbee, but it's like a boomerang.
Yeah.
I was trying to run from it and it curved. I looked back and it got me in the eye. My mama said, and the only thing she said, where did you get that scar from? I was like, just playing. And she didn't say, that was the end of the conversation. That was just the end of the conversation. So, yeah.
You know what? I think it died without, because my kids were pretty tough at the, you know, my oldest son and my daughter after him and Marlene, I think they were tough. Now, I remember I used to have my own little moving company, and I was moving some stuff, like some trash or something for some people that called me for something. And I moved it. And when I went to, what's up, Rick? And when I went to move it, my son and my daughter went with me because I had them with me. I want to show my son how to work. My daughter, you know, she's a daddy's girl. So my son, the construction workers were there working on the house, and all I heard was, I said, what the fuck is going on? My son got the nail gun shooting it. Oh, I was like, so before I can get it out, bro, he said my daughter hit him on the shoulder. He turned around and the nail went right through my daughter's nose.
Oh, no.
I still got the picture. I'll show y'all after the show.
Oh, my God.
I got her in the back seat, man, her whole face covered with blood. Well, I mean, I was like, oh, and then what she did, my son did, I said, oh, I'm running across the field. And my son went and pulled it out, tried to hide it like he did nothing. Nigga, she bleeding, nigga. You don't see she bleeding? Nigga, you crazy? That nigga ran me hot. Boy, I saw Leo ass out here with these Mexicans. You motherfucker, I can't believe you shot your sister with the damn gun. Crazy fool. Uncle Rick, what's going on, my guy?
Everything's everything. How y'all doing?
Yeah, good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother.
You too, man. You too.
All right, man. So yeah, but tonight's I wanted to show. Did you see the video we just watched?
Yeah, I saw it.
So what? I'm trying to think about it. I'm gonna start laughing. Uncle Rick, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, I call them LeBron babies. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, when I saw it, bro, I was at work, man, when I saw it. And I was like, damn, that's accurate, boy. Especially in the 2010s, like something happened to the milk. Something happened, I'm telling you, bro. Like, oh, he was right. These little boys, they can't handle nothing. Football tackles, I mean, they just can't handle nothing. They trip and fall. They out of school for a week. I mean, I used to run to the damn woods barefoot.
But it ain't just not injuries too, man. I was on This Might Be Risky this afternoon, and those young boys were talking about. Of course, they were talking about women, right? And how how the women are so unruly, they can't get like dates and shit. I said, what's the matter with you, fucking? They kicked me off. I got. What you call it? They sniped off the show.
Yeah, they got your ass as soon as you was getting ready to talk.
That's right off the show. I mean, they wouldn't even have been said, come on. They said, you, when the chick said, you've been married for 100 years, what you know? I said, I ain't stopped being a man. Fuck, man, what's the matter with you people?
No, what's her name said she was protecting the senior citizens.
They kicked my ass off the show.
They are very risk adverse. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, there's something going on, brother. All right, man. Well, so I want to jump into the show, man, because I think it's important that we talk about this. I have 2 videos. I'm not going to do a lot of videos because I think the conversation would be better to have than to play a whole bunch of videos. But I'm going to go ahead and play this first video of this guy talking about his grandparents. And then we're going to get into why or how, we're going to get into the subject of the matter. Reparations in 3 years, if only the church would. And we're going to get into what that is in a second. But I want to play this first reparations video. Here we go.
It was 101 when she died. My great-grandfather just died 3 weeks ago. He was 100. He remembers fighting alongside white veterans in World War II. He remembers coming back and seeing his white veterans get homes and lands and pensions and the door being slammed in his face. And we are going to say that America that says liberty and justice for all, that's okay. Get over it. Keep it moving. While we have to hear never forget for everyone else's tragedy. And as far as from where reparations will come, I need people to stop thinking it's going to come from their tax dollars. Look at all the trillions that America spends right now. We talk about inflation, the invisible tax. We have something called the PPP loans. Do we remember the PPP loans? America spent $6 trillion on PPP loans. You know what they just did? They canceled all of it. and we didn't even know. America gave the corporations, the banks alone, $29 trillion. You know what they did with that? They canceled all of it. So let's stop acting as if America is as hamstrung by debt as they want to pretend. Because when America wants to pay for something, they find a way to do it. And truth be told, the corporations, again, aren't hurting. The defense manufacturers aren't hurting. It's only Americans who are hurting. And that is a choice. We all know it's a choice. That's why we're running for office, because we know this country can do better. So I refuse to accept that this country can't do right by a people they've wronged for centuries. And I refuse to accept that any justice-minded person thinks that's the right thing to do.
All right. Tyrus?
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement. I know it's been a while since we've had this conversation before, but guys, I'm a big proponent of, I don't even call it reparations, I call it restitution. I believe legally that's the easiest way to get it. I believe we're owed that opportunity ever since that Homestead Exemption Act, I believe it was 1841 or 1843. That's when the settlers were allowed to just go out west and grab as much land as they want. Now, they had to hold it because, as you know, there was indigenous tribes out there and everything. That was the move out west. But if you went out there, whatever land you claimed, that was yours. That opportunity was robbed from us. We didn't get that opportunity. I would love to have that opportunity back in the form of reparation.
Go ahead, RP.
I'm next. I didn't know I was next. So you would listen. I'm not a big reparations guy, man. I believe that there's nothing these people could do that could ever repay us. If you had a claim and you could get restored that you could trace back, I think the way that the plans and all the shit that for reparations where they try to separate people by FBA, ADOS, and all that shit, that would cause more division amongst blacks than the reparations themselves, right? Yeah, it will, because we divide ourselves like idiots like that anyway, right? You're not a real black, and you're a blackity black. You're not black enough. But I don't. The thing is, if we were to have reparations, to me, it would just be in tax breaks. Give me generational tax breaks. I mean, not tax break, tax exemption, because that's something white man can understand. Listen, because they spend millions of dollars trying to run away from taxes. So I had a plan, because I did a show on your network, BMU. My idea would be 100 years worth of tax break over 5 generations. Everybody gets 20 years tax free. You know, no matter what age you are, once you turn 18, your clock starts for 20 years. Your kids get 20 years. If you're retired, you get restitution for 20 years, tax-free. Your taxes back. And that's what I'm saying, because I think the way the money would work would be a whole lot different, because when we look at our tax code, they tax exempt a whole lot of shit. So so I don't even know how it would hit the treasury as bad as anything else. And since we're only 13% of the population, I think that shit could be absorbed. And you know what? I think that will make people plan. And, here's another thing. I think it will make people work more. Because if you worked and all your money was coming to you tax-free, that 8 hours wouldn't be enough. A day? Shit, man, you be out there working your ass off. So, so to me, that's what I would do. But I'm not a big proponent. Because I think the mindset, I'm going to end it here. I think the mindset of people was thinking that they're going to get some check at some day, and that shit holds people back. That's what I believe. It's a dream that won't come true. And by the way, the people who did, some people are getting reparations, but they could trace why they're getting those reparations legally. Not some mythical, you're alive today, but somebody from 150 years ago owes you money. All those people are dead.
Yeah, but I think
the corporations that enslaved us aren't dead. They just changed the name.
I know, but that's a different argument, though.
No, it's not.
To me, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes,
people are going to want reparations, so I'm not arguing with you. If that's fine.
Go ahead, Rick.
It is true, though, when you're talking about it being federally subsidized. You see what I'm saying? And corporations are private entities within themselves, right?
Right. Oh, my bad.
No, you cool, bro. You cool. It's all good. Good to see you.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention, Rick, Uncle Rick. Federal subsidized by who? The federal government, the same federal government that enslaved the people. So if they're able to, so these corporations survived, and again, slave owners, private entities got reparations. So those private entities are able to get reparations, and the people who were enslaved should also get reparations.
Right, but again, and I hear what you're saying. It makes sense when you say it, right? But again, what y'all don't understand is, when will somebody give you something back that was stolen from you in the first place?
Never.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So when we use the examples of the corporations, right? At those times, those people, right? Because the persons, again, if y'all know y'all legal jargon, is all the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Those people were citizens of the United States of America, right? Private citizens, right? Like you said, a private corporation, correct?
Yeah.
Right? So they have to be made whole. The same way if a business takes a loss, right? What do? They get it off in taxes, correct?
Correct.
Right. So, but it's all viable. Me personally, I think the day reparations happens, that black people get reparations in America, is the day the dollar dies. It's the day the dollar dies, right? Because what a lot of people don't want to seem to understand is that these other people that we want to justify that gap reparations, they had treaties with this country at that time. Blacks never had a treaties with this country, at least not the African American or the Negro, right? You'll have to go back to the Moors to actually append a treaty that was actually done between a melanated people and the United States, right? But again, if we continue to be listed under political categories and names that they put on us,
yes, we never
right,
get it.
then we fall under those jurisdictions. That's why you will never get reparations. You have to be independent of the system, right? You have to be not a product of the government. African American is a product of the government. A Negro is a product of the government. So until we stop being named and listed, and again, these votes of confidence we give these people, right? The things we buy into, you will never get. But like I said, the day niggas figure it out is the day the dollar dies.
Yeah. So one of the things is, when we talk about reparations, I was kind of like what Tyrus was talking about, because language means something, especially when you're in the court of law and when you're talking about it universally, right? It's the repair of a nation and or goods and property. That's where the problem we have. The reason why you would have ADOS or you would have the other ones, because legally they understood that calling yourself African American legally shows that, black legally shows that there's no status. Even with African American, because that is only 1980. That's how old that is. And then if you call yourself Negro, guess what? You were part of the reparation. When you got killed, when you died, all these different things, and somebody owned you, guess what? They can get sued for killing you. It was the same thing that happened with the Haiti thing with them in France. They whooped France ass. France come back and said, well, listen, we gonna come back and whoop y'all ass. But this is the thing. If you don't want us to whoop your ass again, you owe us. You owe us for all the slaves that got killed in that war. I think they're still paying France. If I'm not mistaken. If not, it's just that repayment is just ended. But I'm pretty sure
it's not ended. It killed the state, man.
Okay, so
impoverished today.
Yeah, so they can't get in, they can't sell any goods, they can't do any. It's a lot of that happened in certain countries in Africa. The same thing that happened. So it goes to what Uncle Rick is saying. So those people that are getting reparations or whatever we want to call it, I guarantee they figured something out. But black people would never get reparations. Black people would never get them. That's why you got your ADOS. That's why, what's them other people? The ones that FBI. That's why you got these people calling themselves that, and they are further getting themselves, separating themselves. So they're telling black folks that unless you have FDA or ADOS or something like that, you ain't a part of us. You might be a tether, right? They understand enough, but they don't understand enough to get their money. And it's not going to be money. It's not going to be money. By the time, man, I agree with it. What everybody was just saying. Well, Uncle Rick said, by the time they say, all right, we about to give y'all reparations, the dollar had plummet. And it is no longer powerful again. It's just
some people say affirmative actions.
There are cities across the country that have passed reparations program. I know it's not the federal level, but to put some optimism here, there has been cities across the country that have passed and pay out currently reparations. So it is possible. We're not talking about just an academic theory here.
Right.
It was direct legislation, or litigation that got those reparations for those people. It was easily traceable, right? I think it was something in Georgetown, is Evanstown, whatever that place, a couple of other places. The lady from the one surviving lady from Tulsa, she lost her case just recently.
True, but Pan, you would acknowledge it's the same thing with marijuana, right? It took one state to change it, then another state. And then the next thing you got over 20, I think it's 27, 28 states that's actually recreational legalized, to the point where now the federal government is going to consider, hey, we're just going to go ahead and make it federally legalized. That's what it starts with, Payne. You start with these cities that are paying it out, and then that's what the momentum is going right now.
Yeah, but the analogy is a little flawed, right? Because people are making billions off of marijuana. That's why it's spreading.
Right, but people are going to make billions off of reparations, because what boosts the economy more than government spending? If you look at American history, nothing boosts the economy and the GDP more than American spending. American spending into the people. And so, isn't that what reparations is? You give somebody this, and you know our demographic is going to put most of that money right back into the economy, generating wealth. That's basic economy.
No, I mean that part of it is true, but then there's a different reason why we have so much resistance with reparations that trumps what you just said. Because the government gives out a whole bunch, like the PPP shit. They don't have no trouble giving out money, like my man said before. So there's a different reason why we're not getting reparations as black people in this country. Right, because all the other economics, the micro and macro economics that you just said, would be true. If you give a whole bunch of, black people a whole bunch of money, they know what's going to happen with that money. It's going to go back into the economy, or change hands just as fast as it gave to them. But so why haven't we gotten it? Right, I think that's the heart of the matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have.
So the demographic.
That's why we're having this discussion. I mean, we kind of know, but it's like these racial barriers, whether you're, unfortunately, even if you're pessimistic on the topic, you have to acknowledge more and more cities are passing reparations. So this idea that it's unrealistic isn't true.
Yeah, listen, on the level that you're talking about is different than individual cities paying out of their budgets to do it. We're talking about, it's kind of like whether it's at a city level, state level, or a federal level. Those things are orders of magnitude different.
Okay.
So, but you still have people.
We got experts, right? That's why we got
that's what I was just about to say.
Tax codes, accountants, lawyers, all these different things. Like
you got people that are chest deep into this, right, and has been doing this for years now, decades now. So if it wasn't. You think they're just using it to pacify people? You don't believe that
in California, Gavin Newsom gave out maybe $500,000 to a couple of groups. They go in the corner and come up with a plan, and then he said,
no, I'm talking about the ones that's been doing this before, the whole FBA, ADOS. I'm talking, you have groups of people that have been doing it, and they've been trying to figure it out. The thing is that I don't think that it's a lost cause. I just don't think that we know enough about the language and the laws. And like what Tyrus was saying, the treaties and all these different things, because if that was the case, though, Arpain, then you wouldn't have these experts that are still trying to fight it and going over and over and over and over again for years and years and years.
No, you're right.
We gotta remember, there's
no right or wrong here. Let me just say this I'll be real quick. No right or wrong here. We do have the experts. I mean, and we got the people who can sit down and spin a real cohesive rationale why we should get reparations. That shit's already know. They could say all the rationale in the world. That's not the reason why we're not getting it. So what I'm saying is, no matter what we say, because we could justify it, we really can. And people have done the studies to justify it already. The real question, and maybe this is the discussion for today, and maybe that's what we'll get to when Black Man on Filters tell us why the church might help. The fact is that even under the weight of all the knowledge that we have, right? We have the experts, the economists, and all that kind of people who say, yeah, you should be paying these guys back for what you did to them for 300, 400, 250 years, whatever you want to say. And the reason why they're not doing it, it's easy to say it's just because of race, right? But is it just that? I don't know. All I know is that Black folks, the way we think, unfortunately, not all of us, is that I think people are undergoing some sort of arrested development because they think some big fucking check is coming.
Yeah, but they also think.
And listen, to me, I'm gonna just say one more thing. I'm trying to find reasons why for the last 50 years we dedicated ourselves to one philosophy when no other demographic has done that. I think we're still mentally enslaved in this victimization shit that we fight like hell to be coddled there. There's some kind of solace that we're trying to get, as opposed to standing out there on our own saying, fuck your reparations. I'm gonna make it because I'm smart. I have the same opportunities that a whole lot of people, and in some cases more. And we've come a long way in 150 years that anybody who's been under the kind of oppression that we've had. Because Jim Crow just ended when I was 6 years old.
So,
so where are we now? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think we think about that enough. But that's
not to pick on you, Payne, but please. I think I could comfortably speak for the majority of Black Americans when I say the majority.
Oh, let me say this real quick, Tyrus, and I'll let you cook. Payne, I really got to push back on that, because we're the only, like we tell the women, the Black women, y'all are the only nationality that get online and talk about your men, and I think that. Right. We're the only culture that says reparations is pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, and you got to go out and get it on your own. But then all the people that are Donald Trump is one of them, right? We just voted for Donald Trump. We knew he was the best option, but damn, how did Donald Trump get his money? He got it from his father. How did his father get his money? Right? The people that own New York Life Insurance Company, how do they get their money? How are those kids billionaires today? Right? And when their insurance company used to insure slaves. So a lot of people to this day, they're getting reparations, so-called reparations, from their great-great-grandparents enslaving people, and they still they made companies. Right, they created companies that New York Life is still an insurance company to this day, huge insurance company that used to insure slaves. If you get mad at one of your slaves, you kill one of your slaves, they would pay the insurance policy off one of your slaves, and they're still right now one of the biggest insurance companies on the planet. And I think that so when we talk about that, you think about all the stuff that you go out and look. If it wasn't for this, Arpain, go to Washington, look at all.
Oh shit, he'll come back up.
I want him to come back on because Tariska. See, the reason why he's giving me that explanation is the same reason why he still misunderstood what I'm talking about. I know all of that shit.
We having a storm
over. So BMU, I hear what you're saying. I know all the stuff that you're saying. I'm not saying what I'm saying because what you're saying is not true. In the light of all that shit's being true, I just look at my own freaking life, man. I'm just saying, you know, you're saying we
why
need to
should you
have
have to
more,
work?
but wait a minute, how
I want to
come
ask you a question.
we are in the position we are for so goddamn oppressed?
Our pain, but you want everybody
You
to
know,
go
that's
work.
what I'm saying.
Our pain, this is all I'm saying to you. You want everybody to go work hard, but they shouldn't have to because they already have. Listen, let me give you an
They
example.
didn't already have. Them fucking somebody 800 years ago already had. You still have to work on yourself.
Martin Luther King, I'm not a fan of Martin Luther King like I used to be after I found out some things a few weeks ago. We'll talk about that later. But one of the things that Martin Luther King said was before they assassinated him, because they used that video when he did that video, they killed him. And because what did he say? He said, I just found out that there are subsidies and land and people teaching white men how to farm and giving them farming equipment, farming housing, giving them acres of land of government funding, and niggas ain't getting shit. He said, you want us to come up and pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, but there's no scraps in the boots. And also all those white people who right now who passed those farms down to their children and now they're making money, that was given to them by the government. Here, white folks, be successful. Go and live. Go get these tractors. Plant these seeds. Be farmers. And they told the niggas, figure this shit out. And Martin Luther King found that out. And he said, I'm coming to Washington next week because we want our check. That Saturday, what happened to him?
So
shit, I'm just trying to tell you.
So this is the thing. I don't think Martin Luther King had just found out. I don't think Martin Luther King had just found out.
Yeah.
We already know the man was a scholar. He wrote what, 5 books?
Yeah, he did.
So he knew. I think that he was more of a strategist when it came down to this whole movement that he had. He was just making wrong moves. You know what I'm saying? So the people that was following him, the ones that was standing side by side with him, I don't think that they were smart enough. I don't think that these folks were smart because one man is just not that powerful. It's the organization that man had the potential to build off of what he can foresee, right? So they had to go ahead and they had to kill him before that got to a point where the shit would have just got uncontrollable. Can you imagine having 50 Martin Luther Kings and they are in all parts of the United States, and then you start having them over in Africa and start having them over in other states and countries and shit like that? Because we wasn't the only country that thought it was wrong for how we were being treated. There was a lot of motherfuckers coming over here to America to help us, right? So when you looking at it as the point of pull yourself up by the bootstraps, okay, motherfucker, that's how we kind of looked at it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever y'all talking about. But then we have to also understand what status really mean. And black was not a status. It wasn't. Negro was not a status. It wasn't a status where you can make any means multiply. It wasn't a status like white was. It wasn't a status like Indian was. It wasn't a status like those were statuses. Black was just a race. Look what we're doing now. We're fighting over what we're going to call ourselves. How many times we going to go through this shit? First it was African American from Negro and black. And then now we're talking about FBA and ADOS. I understand why they say FBA. I understand why they say ADOS, because they understand that you got to put your status in the books. And right now, that status we have is basically a no man.
But that's what I'm saying, JT. That's why I wanted our pain to respond to, because I'm thinking if you got a race of people that's been given every fucking thing, and then you turn around and tell the niggas, shit, you figure that shit out, work hard, get it. But your family is living off some shit that was given to them. That Martin Luther King found it out. He said it in the video. I found out these subsidies, money, and land is given to these white folks to farm and make money, and our people ain't getting shit. And he said, we're coming down to Washington next week to get our check. And they shot his ass.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tarus, you said you wanted to say something too. Because
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
say
well,
something.
unfortunately, Payne, I'm about to disagree with you too, because
Okay, go ahead.
at least in my experience, I don't know any black people around me who are legitimately not doing shit in their lives, waiting around for a check. The
That's right.
vast majority of black Americans are out here doing their thing, not
I didn't
thinking they're
say
gonna
a
get a
word.
Every fucking day.
Payne.
Woo.
And so on top of that, I have to piggyback on what BMU was talking about. It's easy, Payne. You keep talking about the work ethic and thing, but a lot of black Americans already have that work ethic. You know
That's
how
right.
much easier it is to have a work ethic when you got things like the Homestead Act, where hold up, I got this work ethic, except BMU and his family, or me and my family, or JT or Rick, or even you, Payne. I got that same work ethic, except now I got this land that I could apply that work ethic to instead of just slaving to the corporation. Right? You keep thinking that somehow work ethic is tied to just manifest out of nowhere, but man, they were handed this stuff. A lot of these, and it goes generations. Like, you don't understand, Payne, when you're handed property in the acres.
I do understand. I
How
do
much it's
understand.
worth nowadays.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Since these guys, listen, first of all, I think your argument against me is that like, I don't agree and understand what you're saying. Saying that shit doesn't matter. I mean, it just fucking doesn't matter. You know, if you really think about it, we're pretty much the fact that we're still here, knowing the history of the white man, means we could have been fucking exterminated. You know, all I'm just trying to say is I'm not looking at the fact that my oppressor gives bennies to his sons and daughters. We should expect, we know they're going to give bennies to their sons and daughters. They always do. I mean, all you got to do is read history. So the fact that we've come through all this shit that they've done to us, Jim Crow ended in 1964. You know what they gave us instead and replaced Jim Crow? The fucking thing that Johnson signed to tell your women to make a deal to get government money as opposed to having a man in the house. So they took us off of one goddamn set of shit, put us on another goddamn set of shit, and now we're almost 90% for one party of people who tell us that we're victims every fucking chance they get.
Payne, this is
No,
the
wait a
part,
minute, man. You had your silence. I'm saying the fact that any of us are standing and thriving is because, in spite of all of that shit, that has to mean something.
Payne,
You think you're going to get a check to change all of that?
You can't keep saying this stuff doesn't matter, and
No,
then the cities that the reparations are being passed at, these are the Payne. Payne, you keep saying these things don't matter, but these are the same exact arguments they're using in the cities that are passing the reparations. They're using the history that we're talking about as a way to pass these things. So clearly it does matter, man.
Okay, so it matters. But we are where we are. Let me ask you something. Remember now, when Martin Luther King was around, he had a counterpart, which is Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad was talking about complete separation from the white man. Now, I don't know, his reparations might have been in terms, he said, give us some land somewhere so we could have our own land. I remember the fruits of Elijah Muhammad used to tout that. It didn't go anywhere. But I don't know if he was saying, well, give me some land, which is be reparations, what I agree with you. But he wasn't saying, give us all checks. He wanted to just separate from the white man. That's what he wanted to do. A lot of people forget that part of the Nation of Islam. You know, so I'm just trying to say is I'm not disagreeing with any of you guys. But what I'm saying is it's a dream that you're having that shit's going to actually happen. I don't think it is. And in the meantime, like you said, Tarus, and you, BMU, and everybody on this panel, we got to work with what we got to get what we want. And when we just say that, stripped of all the shit that the white man could do for us, I don't think we're at some level, we're leaving a lot of people behind, but it's not because black people don't have it in them. It's because we hooked our wagons to the wrong fucking ideology. If we didn't hook our wagon to that bad ideology, we would be kicking ass because with all of that shit, we are where we are.
I'm finna say something.
You know, I
think that's the biggest problem.
I
our community settles too much.
Listen, I can't acquiesce to the fact. I wish I had a check too, BMU. I wish they gave me some fucking land too. But if we don't have it, what does that mean?
But you know what though? I just, this is why I ask God all the time. God, if you could just, and I want Rick to go because Rick been waiting patiently.
I know,
God, if you could just use me as the first person to just in your time machine and just take me back, because I want to see all these people your age, Mr. Boomer, who drank out of black water fountains, who had to sit at the back of motherfucking buses, who had to sit at the balconies at the movie theater because they couldn't sit down with the white folks. I want God to just take me back and say, you know what, God, since everybody feel this way about reparations, just send me and 50 like-minded men like me, and we can change the course of history. We can change it. We can just change because think about it. Back in the day, men didn't stand up to these white men. They beat them. They raped their women. They raped their daughters. They raped the men. They broke the men. I just wish they would just allow us. God just allowed about 50 of us to just go back and change the course of history, because I would.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, BM? How many black Americans do you think during the 50s and 60s was like, yo, Malcolm X and MLK, they wasted their time. White people ain't never gonna get rid of Jim Crow. We ain't never gonna get the civil rights. Like, this defeatist attitude that black Americans have routinely, bro, that's one of the biggest reasons why we don't get anything, is because we always settle in for the lowest of the low, or we don't think anything's possible.
Uncle Rick, what you got, man?
Man. I like a check. Shit.
Yeah, man, come on. I'm trying to tell you.
I like a check, but like I said, I stand again on the premises that when did somebody steal from you and give you anything? It's a moot argument. I hear what y'all saying. I've been on this planet too long to give my mental space to hope some shit that I know ain't gonna happen. It's just simply what it is. And I hear what y'all saying, right? What y'all asking the United States government to do is to recognize a wrong that was done to the Native American. Y'all look it up, right?
Yeah.
Question. When these atrocities was happening, what was the law?
The law as it pertains to what?
As it pertains to black people when these atrocities was happening. What was the law? It was legal to own a black person, right?
Yeah.
Has that law been overturned? It's been amended.
Yeah, prisons.
But has it been overturned?
Mm-mm. Where has you?
It's been amended.
Oh, well, okay, I got you.
But has it been overturned?
No.
It's still on the books, right?
Yep, still on the books.
So again, we're approaching this argument from the incorrect stance. It's not about right or wrong. No one cares. No one cares. It was wrong when they did it and they knew it.
Did you hear what I said?
I hear y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. But it's not realistic. That's all I'm saying. I want a 2017 C7 Corvette. Y'all know what it is. Black. You know what I'm saying? Black with the red and white interior. You know what I'm saying? Forza 4-port exhaust kicking out the back, cruising down I-90 on a summer day to go to Chicago. But it's just not realistic. You asking the same people who whooped your ass to apologize.
So, Ricky, if I could give you a rebuttal real quick, respectfully. I see that you're a car guy, and BMU can back me up on this. I'm a huge car guy myself. Got an M6 Grand Coupe, 600 horses competition.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Got a BMW X5M competition.
I saw
You know what I mean? So if anybody doesn't need reparations, it's certainly me. BMU seen what my new crib looked like. I certainly, if you wanted to make it an income requirement. But what I'm saying is this, Ricky, unfortunate. This is what I'm pushing back on you and Payne on. Those arguments are working. It might not be working at the federal level, but that's because we're not making that argument at the federal level yet. Right now, those arguments about whether it's right or wrong, that's why it's getting passed in these different cities. And then on top of that, I want to come the reparations argument as a place of opportunity, as a business negotiation. You see, I know that asking white people out of the goodness of their heart, Ricky, you absolutely right. They're never going to do it. But when you come at them with a business opportunity, with a place of opportunity, they all of a sudden listen. You see, tax breaks sound good, Payne, but you know what's a lot better? Cold hard cash to the construction companies owned by white people that are going to build the new houses for black people when they get reparations. Right? A lot of these companies that we're going to have to hire to develop our neighborhoods, our homes, all these different things, they're white owned. They got to go through the white banks anyway. The system already exists. And so to what JT was talking about, status, whether it's FBA or ADOS, the reason why you have that status is because, Payne, you had mentioned that there's 13%. 13% or the 100% of us are not getting reparations. That's why you have the status, because people who are African American, who migrated, again, they're, I think the term's tethered or whatever it is, they're not eligible to get reparations because they don't have that lineage from back then. That's why it's Black Americans or African Americans. And there's a whole bunch of complexities. But what I'm saying is, guys, you can't, I have to keep pushing back because you guys keep saying it's not possible, and yet we keep seeing it happening. A growing movement passed by these very white people that you keep saying aren't going to give us anything. So Ricky, Uncle Rick, respectfully, am I supposed to ignore the evidence that white people are helping pass the reparations in the different cities and say it's not realistic?
Listen to what I'm saying, bro. I'm not arguing your point. Shout out to R. Payne. It's a compelling argument, right? But let me rebut what you said, right? It's a great argument. Maybe you should be on the reparations board, highlight Trump, right? How many people smoke weed?
It's about 75% of probably America.
Is weed legal in California?
Yes, it is.
How about Denver?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, hey, hold on. Speaking of that, pause for a second. Deion Sanders just said that. He said by the second quarter at every Colorado game, he always smell it hitting the field. And it's
right.
He said he feel like his players getting a charge from the shit.
Numerous cities, right?
Yeah.
For the last 8 years, right? They've been saying that marijuana is a discussion. Has the federal government made is it off the list yet?
Nope.
No, but you can't.
I got you. Nope, I got you. You know when it'll get off the list? When every corporation that's backing it a benefit, and it's the same thing that's going to happen with reparations, right? When the dollar is no longer valuable, when it's a way to lock your ass into something, that's when it'll happen.
I disagree.
That's when it'll happen. Again, the states are supposed to be independent countries. I know you know this already, right? But for the people who don't know, right?
Shit.
Every state was supposed to be their own independent country. So every state was supposed to be able to govern their people, right? The federal government is supposed to be over commerce, right? For each state.
Yep.
Right? So that's why it's okay for this city to do that, as long as it's okay by their state. So if that's the case, you should move to a state in a city that does that for you. I wish it was every city. I ain't gonna say no to no free check.
Yeah, I don't know about
no, right? But what I'm saying is, I hear what y'all saying, and I don't discount what you're saying, Truce. It's a very compelling argument. It is. Again, if that's the case, somebody needs to get together, because it ain't gonna be me. I'm too old, right? Somebody need to get together and put that committee together and take their ass to Washington and get to fight, right? But the truth is, if you don't have enough status, if you don't have enough money, and if you don't have enough political clout to move the needle, it's just gonna be a bargaining chip that they throw at you to get your vote. And then when they get in, another 4 years will pass, and you'll be doing the same thing.
And you have to also understand this too. As generations come to fruition, every day there's a new 18-year-old. Every day there's a new 21-year-old that comes in. Yeah, you ask anybody that's black, would you take a reparations check? They all gonna say, hell yeah, right? Everybody is gonna say that. But if you ask them to join you into the fight, how many people are joining into this fight? Very few. And one of the reasons is because of influence. There's a big ass thing that's in America. When you even look at how many black politicians we have now. Look how many black politicians that we have in Washington now. And you say, well, why they're not talking about it? Because you do understand that when you look in the courts and they have this argument about the reparations, you also have black folks that's on the opposite side of reparations also, right?
Yep.
So that integration that they were talking about, I think we did a bad thing, get to moving our people into this direction of integration. And they saying, what they called it, they referenced it as a burning house or some shit like that. The reason being is because we see the burning house now. Look what integration has done now. Look at all the bullshit that we have right now. Everybody is on it. This whole thing of race is starting to be second tier and third tier. What are we arguing about now? People calling themselves something that they ain't. We got women not liking men and vice versa. So when we talk about this reparations thing, that shit is like fourth tier. Yeah, anybody would take a check, but very few people are going to join in that fight. That's where we have the problem at. And even say if they did say that, okay, we're going to start giving reparations, whatever that form that it is it just going to be to black people? Or is it going to be for FBA? If it's going to be only for ADOS, and in the next 10 to 20 years, ain't no telling what other group of people we have. Now we just complicated it from black and white to tethers and black folks.
Lost in Translation just made a great point. He said when the migrants came over the border, they put away $630 million for people that weren't even legal to be in this country.
Debit cards and all that shit.
You're not a migrant. You're not a migrant. This even strength. What is y'all talking about? Listen to what I'm saying. Pipe dreams is crazy, right? That even proves even more that they have the resources and they're still not gonna do it.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
So again, what you believe you got to do? What you believe black people got to do to get reparations, guys? That's the next question. That's the question I want to ask the panel. What do you believe that black people got to do to convince the government to get on reparations?
If I can answer that. Oh, can I answer that? Can I go first, guys?
I knew Tyrese was gonna try to answer that motherfucker. Go ahead, Tyrese.
Yeah, well, the first thing you can do is actually, and this is not aimed at anybody, this is a general comment. Get off your ass and actually go to the hearings. Go to the committee hearings. Go to the commissions. Actually sit there and you actually get time to make your own little speech about being pro or anti-reparations. Those things go on a lot in different areas. All you got to do is Google and look it up. Actually go and sit down on it. The next thing you could do is actually research. Huh? Continue educating yourself on the history. Continue educating yourself on tax law, like Payne's talking about, if it's a form like that. There's a lot of different things you can do. You know what I mean? But one of the things you can do right now, whether it's a Zoom call or going directly to the meetings, is going to those committees and sitting in and listening and hearing how they actually break down and determine who's eligible for what. A lot of people don't do that, and that's something we could do.
Can I go next, please? Can I listen? I like I said, I did a stream here on Black Man Unfiltered. Had a bunch of people up on that panel, by the way. I actually read 2 reparations report that Gavin Newsom sponsored in California. Yeah, so I saw what they did. Now, one of the things I think a lot of people are missing, and this is where it's going to get real convoluted. Reparations wasn't just for the people who were slaves. They were talking about the people who had to live through Jim Crow, redlining, and all those other things. So once you start talking about coming into the 19th century, right, you're talking about people who might have got here in the late 1800s and have 2 generations of blacks, but they weren't FBA. So when you start thinking about who gets this shit, right, because a lot of wrongs were done in the 20th century, right? So so all I'm just trying to say is, once we start separating ourselves as people who was harmed more than others, right, we're going to just be arguing about that. But this is what happened in California. Remember, there was a recent vote to ratify some of those plans, and there was black people in the state government who didn't let it come to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all I'm just trying to say is, it was just a red herring maybe red herring is not the right way. It was a pacifier. Fucking Gavin Newsom said, here's a couple of dollars, go in the corner, do all these studies. And when it came time to capitalize on him, he was just wanting like 6 months to a year of not hearing people chirp in his ear. That shit was worth $1 million to him. Give the jigaboos $1 million so they can go in the corner and play bingo games with this shit. And when it's time to really capitalize on it, he said, at least I got 1 year. I don't have to have these fucking guys in my ear. And that's how he played them.
Again, that's a great point, Tarus, right? But again, did the migrants have to go to meetings?
No, but we also don't have to worry about getting kicked out the country either. Like y'all keep saying, it's different. There's
exactly.
nuance.
Why is that?
Because
this is where we from.
Right.
This is where we from.
So listen, right? Again, there's treaties in place. There's treaties with Mexico, Argentina, so forth and so on. I don't expect everybody to understand it. It's deeper than rap. Right? But again, why is it that a race of people, I can't say nation because we ain't got no nation. African American ain't no nation, right? No. Why is it a race of people that live here and the public knows ad nauseum that they were done wrong over history? Why is it that they have to get their ass up and go fight? Why is it that they got to get their ass up and go to a meeting? That's something they supposed to have. Maybe because you ain't gonna never get it.
Maybe, but I have to once again state this.
You gotta hope, right? You gotta hope, right?
Uncle Rick, you at some point, if you want me to acknowledge that it's a pipe dream, which I already did, you have to acknowledge that there has been individual cities in a movement that has passed it. There has to be some ground.
No doubt, Tarus. But again, I acknowledge you, no problem. But you got to acknowledge me. I said if it's a city that did that, take your ass there, right?
I did,
because the chance.
But to be fair with the migrant, right? For the money that was set aside, that wasn't set aside by the federal government. That was set aside by the state, specifically the city, because Eric Adams of New York City was the one who decided to give them guys that money. And the state governor, that wasn't the federal government.
Okay.
Just like the state of Texas decided to bust the migrants.
Right. You're making my point. So it's all gravy. Again, I hear what you're saying, but it's all gravy, right? I'm not knocking what y'all saying, right?
I know you're not, bro. I think we're just having a nuanced discussion.
Yeah. For a black man to say, I'm not going to say we don't deserve it because that's a goddamn lie. It's our people that built the backs of this country. This is our country. I keep trying to tell y'all not Africans. 90% of y'all never seen African. None of y'all ancestors was ever at Africa. The business doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make sense for the numbers they say. But being that said, like I said, if it was stolen from you, how do you get it back? Mm-hmm. If somebody stole your bike, do you go and knock on their door and tell them, give me my bike back? Please give me my bike back. You know what? We having a meeting at the town hall so I can get my bike back. Or you whoop his ass and take your bike back.
Take your bike. You whoop his ass and take your goddamn bike.
Answer the state thing too, though, right? Real quick. Each one of those state cases, I mean, those are like, those were really kind of neat. right? When I say neat, they were like more like litigation that we call reparations. They could trace back who was harmed, why they were harmed, and how we could repair it. I mean, those things weren't like you had to be FBA, this and that. They were able to trace who were really harmed, and that's why they fixed a wrong. And that's just almost like simple litigation. What we're talking about on reparation on the big federal level is different. Now, the reason why California is important, because like you said, Tarus, California has been a catalyst for a lot of shit, like no fault fucking divorce. Right? So, but if California is fucking people over on, excuse my language, messing people over on reparations, it's going to be harder for it to spread because California has been like a hotbed for spreading stuff across the United States. You know, so all I'm just trying to say is I'm not against reparations. I'm just saying it can't be a cornerstone of our success here in America. No, we don't have those farms. We don't have the benefits of generations of money coming down. But that doesn't mean we can't start one of our own. And stop comparing it to the white man. You know, we're never going to make those generations back. Let me give you an analogy, BMU. If I'm a goddamn football player and I sit out 2 years because I don't want my contract, I don't like my contract, you're never making those $2 or $3 million back for the years you sit out. You never. Right? You might get that bigger contract at the end, but you still lost money. You know, so I mean, we can't keep comparing ourselves to the oppressors, man. We just got to build our own shit. And not to say if they give me a check, great. But I don't understand the resistance of saying let's just do the shit that we got to do. We're all doing it already.
Well, I'm saying we're doing it already, but god damn, R-Pain, you sound like an old white man trapped in your spirit.
Man, that's only because that's what you want to hear from me.
No, what I'm saying to you is, bro, if I wish my 91-year-old grandmother could come on the show, she will not do it. She will not fucking do it. I beg her, I say, Grandma, I will pay you. No, babe, that ain't for me. That's for y'all young folks, right? I just wish you could hear some of the shit my 91-year-old grandmother said. And it pisses you off to the point where I want them bitches to pay my grandmother. Pay my motherfucking grandmother her motherfucking money.
Okay, can I ask you something, BMU? Can I ask you one thing? Under all the oppression we were under, out of all that shit, redlining, Jim Crow, why were the baby boomers' families stronger than all the bullshit that's going on today? Why?
Y'all had 2 words. Let me tell you what they was. No, y'all had 3.
Okay.
Yes, a mess. JT, got me wrong, JT.
I ain't wrong.
They wouldn't even look a white man in the eyes. They were so scared.
Oh, God.
Damn it, shit. I know what I'm talking about.
Because what you're saying is they were survivors.
So that is a point of acquiescing is a point of surviving. So
they created an infrastructure for generations, and they might have blew it later on once 64 came. But at some point, we can't just shit on all the ancestors because they were under oppression. You can't just take all the credit away from them because they didn't go ahead and beat up white people, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't want to beat up any white people. I just want
you's a racist. You a racist.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this here. Ain't no white man coming in the house raping my daughters and raping my wife in front of me, and I'm not.
You're racist, man. You're right.
So what you're saying, BMU, is that we shouldn't be here because all the slaves should have revolted. We should have all just been exterminated in the 1800s.
If it was a fifth, if was a fifth, bro, like. Man, get out the past, bro.
We should have never accepted being slaves from the beginning.
Accepted. You know how many people jumped off the ship or continued trying to run and all of this other shit, bro? I'm talking about the people who got here, Tarus. I mean, you can't have it both ways.
Acquiescing as a part. Acquiescing was a part of survival. It was what it was. No matter how it just that was the reality of it. So yeah.
All against that shit or just had to today. Hey man, live for another day like that. nobody
That's what
really
they did.
That attitude is a luxury you have because of the time.
Yeah, it's because if you was out there,
Shut the fuck up
especially
with that bullshit.
yeah, because if that
You
was if
only
you
know
was in
what you know.
Mississippi,
You
yep,
only know what you know. I wish niggas stop doing that shit. You only know what you knew. That is a privilege of the time you were born in.
yeah, man.
Stop
Yeah.
that,
I'm
bro.
sorry. So basically, from what I know is, for example, I know I'm not a descendant of no king and queen. My African descendants from Ghana were most likely farmers, prisoners of war, or already slaves when they came over here, right? But that doesn't mean that there was thousands of black people who didn't jump. That's documented. That doesn't mean that they remember, they separated Africans that way they couldn't communicate with each other in different languages and everything like that. And even still, there were still some black Americans that tried to escape.
Yeah,
Yes,
but if they had to,
most of the people that were there, hey man, it's about survival. I'm just gonna go through it.
it's about survival.
No, but if you guys don't know about the resistance that was going on in the South, especially in places like Louisiana, then you actually don't know your history.
No. All of it. This is the thing, though, y'all. This is the thing. All of it was survival, because if we had a bunch of ancestors that was like, "Kill me, motherfucker," we wouldn't be here talking on this podcast right now. Let's keep it 100.
It's a privilege of your time.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here talking about if I was doing that time. Nah, you ain't in that time.
You
Be
niggas scared
thankful.
to fight. Y'all scared to fight. Y'all scared to knuckle up. You wouldn't have no pistol to pull out on Massa. You're gonna have to knuckle up.
During the slave trade, guys, during slavery, there were no less than 250 to 311 slave revolts in this country that needed to be put down by the U.S. government.
I never agree with this.
You guys,
I agree with this nigga. I never agree with this nigga, but he is absolutely fucking correct.
Thank you.
How many slaves was it though?
Nobody said there wasn't revolts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we're not saying that.
Hey,
how many slaves was it though? 150. 150 out of how many slaves?
I went to school in Buffalo, New York. I went to
Y'all
school
not
in
being
Buffalo,
reasonable,
New York.
bro.
I said thousands.
Y'all not being, hey, that hope a motherfucker, boy. I'm telling you, it put a light in your eye. I'm telling you. Tyrus got that glimmer in his eye, boy. That glimmer of hope. I'm telling you, that young boy shit.
And think about this. This is what they say. So it wasn't it documented that we only had like 800,000 slaves throughout the time of when that first slavery
4 million
ship,
not 800,000.
So even if it was 4 million, right? Let's look at it from year 1, right, all the way to year 200. How many slaves is it now? From 200 to give it another 200 years. How many slaves is it now? How many generations was it? How many generations was it now? And then look at the mindset of the slaves that were 200 years from that time, right? The mindset now of a slave is in the DNA now, right? That's where you get to saying, oh shit, this shit was really real. Can you imagine somebody that was had ancestors 100 years ago and they are slaves and they looking back at their ancestors? Do they have the mindset that we have right now? Were they reading books? Did they have any documentaries that was talking to them? I hear people talk about slavery, and they're talking about slavery as if slavery was not the catalyst of how this country was being built, right? So most slaves, by the time you got to year 200, they masters end up loving them like family. So then you will see motherfuckers right now. Am I lying, BMU, when you got people that's in your family that has goddamn their land and all of that shit was inherited to them by their slave master? A gang of them. One of the reasons why a lot of these slave masters ended up getting reparations was because somebody came and killed their slave, killed their cattle, burnt their home up. They were still going through wars and shit. We were just a part of the. We was a part of their shit.
They lost their property in a hostile takeover.
Yes,
and
when you killed their slaves.
Reimbursed. But again, like I said, the key word is property. Have those laws been overturned?
Imagine how many people now, because people don't talk about this part of that whole history either. Imagine how many motherfuckers was fighting when they got their slaves stolen from them. It's in the books. They got a chance to sue somebody for stealing their damn slaves. It talks about it. Oh, remember Candyland? Even though that was fictional, they had to get it from some type of factual shit.
Can I tell you one also? You know, I know a lot of slaves escaped Sojourner the Truth. I went to school in Buffalo, New York in the 70s. When I got up there, believe me, all the black people up there who are indigenous to Buffalo, they have Southern accents. They speak just like Southerners. And then when I dug a little deeper, that was the last stop before Canada.
And guess who else got Southern accents too, Payne? Up north.
Two migrations of Black Americans from the South. One right after post-Civil War, and the second one during the 19th.
Right. But guess who else got Southern accents up north? Guess how many people up north go with that one little hookup? Delaware. I had a friend that was from Delaware that sounded like he was from Georgia. I was like, where you from? He said Delaware. I was like, Delaware? So what you're saying is absolutely right. So that has to show that there was some type of migration that came from there. He didn't sound like he came from New York or Boston or something like that.
That you're talking about, Terus. My wife is a daughter of her father was one of the ones who led his family up, so I know all about that.
Yeah, my grandmother migrated in the 50s from Mississippi to Cleveland, Ohio. That's where my family's here.
It's like
same here in Detroit.
Me personally, like I said, I don't believe the whole African slave trade shit, man. They don't make it up. I think we discussed it before. It don't make business sense. It don't make business sense. They try to convince us that they killed every Native American tribe that was here. They didn't have a population to do so. All y'all family got Indian in them. All y'all family, every single one. Hey, your grandmama, she got Indian. Y'all got Indian in y'all family, bro. Stop. Man.
Remember, most of them got wiped out from the diseases they brought over.
That's what they told you. That's what they told you. But listen to what I'm saying. But listen to what I'm saying. So you telling me these same people, right, who have Confederate statues of generals?
Oh my God!
Right, museums for everything. Don't have one slave ship, two slave ships,
right,
for you to take a tour of.
I thought they had one.
Nope.
Honestly.
One.
Yeah.
One.
But isn't that in the islands?
One. But listen. Can't you go to Hawaii? Can't you go to Hawaii and visit a blown up?
Yes.
Carrier
I know
ship?
exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you go to New York and get on the Jolly Roger?
Yep.
No slave ships. Not a one. Was it a mandate like they did C-19? Burn all the slave ships.
Hell no. There's no damn way. If that shit was going, and we know how them seas are. If you been on a fucking cruise, them goddamn, that ocean ain't no joke. It is unforgiving, bro.
I'm not trying to kill y'all arguments, but one of the reasons why there's not a lot of slave ships is because they were still owned by the Europeans. Which, by the way, if you go to the UK, France, the Dutch, Uncle Rick, they have their slave ships that you can go in, because we got to remember the Atlantic slave trade was started by Europeans, right? America ended the importation of slaves in 1808. So, of course, we didn't have any slave ships because we was already going out the process. The only reison why slavery made a comeback in the state is because of the cotton gin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And by the way, Uncle Rick, real quick, Uncle Rick, you keep mentioning timelines. Need I remind you that these Confederate statues weren't even put up into the 1920s?
But
that wasn't put up.
Understood. But in timeline, you might be fact. But again, it's still about the way they worship their past, right? It's not like they're trying to eliminate it. There's always something attaching them to their horrors, but slavery.
Right, but isn't that what attaches us to our horror? Is the slavery?
Well, that again, like I said, if they had it, they would use it as a tool against us, wouldn't it? Because that's how they keep us in fear. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that is fair to say. But my rebuttal is Why don't we do that? Don't do the same thing as we did with the N-word. We appropriate to our own use.
What, the ship?
Again, there's nothing stopping us except willpower.
The ship? You talking about the ship or reparations?
No, I'm talking about reparations and that hurt. There's nothing stopping. Again, it's Rick. You are absolutely right that we could. Let's say we all came together, right? White people are still the majority. They can still be like, man, fuck.
I believe, Tarus, if we can get over our egos and our distrust of each other, if we could all come together, we wouldn't need reparations. We wouldn't need it. So like I said, and I hear you, bro. I'm not trying to cut you off. My apologies, bro.
Oh, you good.
Right. But this is my case. I look at shit to the big picture of it, right? Again, reparations is the minutia of it. The thing is, right, is that again, us as a people, and like I said, I don't argue. I'm telling you, listen, if Joe Biden want to go out with a bang and prove us all wrong for getting Trump in there, hey, I'm going to give all you people that like hot sauce and voted for me that when y'all was black, I'm going to give y'all a check. I'm taking it. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm taking it. And if it's hot, me and Tarus and BMU, hey, we in Belize next week. What's poppin'? You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, I don't expect anybody to give me anything, right? When our people don't give each other nothing.
Ooh, shit.
That's just the way I feel about it, bro. I hear you. And like I said, I keep trying to tell you, you're going to figure this out eventually as a man. Hope is the most dangerous word in the dictionary. I hope somebody does something for me. I hope they do the right thing. Whenever you rely on hope, you're usually going to be disappointed.
Yeah, Rick, I actually agree with you on this idea that we as of right now, it'd be more realistic for us to come together and do something not related to reparations than actually hoping for a reparations thing. You know what I mean? It's just like there's so many things that I could look at individually in the history. Like JT and I was in the military. I know we weren't in the military at the same time. But Rick, one of the difference between my timeline and the timeline that existed in the 1950s, Uncle Rick, when I got back from my 2 deployments, I got to use my GI Bill. I got to use my BA home loan. You know how many Americans came back from World War II and got fucked over and they still, to this day, that family is it hasn't been able to recover because those family, that man that went to war wasn't able to use his benefits. Mm-hmm. Right? There's certain things like that I think Payne was talking about. If you want to individually target, we can do things like that. But unfortunately, that targets us at a disproportionate level. And so I can do both. You know, I got my home that I can pass down to my kids, but I can still argue for reparations at the same time. It's not either or for me.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying why it's never going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? But this also, and I hear you, Tarus, and again, to rebut what you're saying, that's the privilege of your time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? Y'all, you can't go back and fix what happened at this point. So again, I hear what everybody's saying, bro. Like I said, listen to what I'm saying, black people. Give me a check. Y'all, hey, Cash App, $R-Dubs, AREDUBBZ. I got bills to pay. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying, right? But again, it's a privilege of your time. Everybody gets shortchanged. We look at these young kids and okay, full transparency. I look at how easy the women is nowadays, and I look at these young dudes like, y'all niggas lucky, boy. You motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all lucky as shit, because if it was all, if this was my time, woo,
it'd been something different.
Yeah, I started a polygamy cult in Utah. This was my time, bro.
That's got to be kicked off the panel.
5 of them walking in paying bills. You hear what I'm saying? All of them.
Kind of told you already ago.
Right.
Hey, Rick, they be talking about you on these damn panels. He
taking
them all.
Right. But again, it's a privilege. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm the OG now. I had my time, bro. Mm-hmm. And it's just some things I can't change. Do I wish I could change them? Like BMU said, if I could jump back in the time machine and go fix, hey, I'd do it.
Shit. Well, we'll tear a plantation up.
Right. But I'm a victim. We all victims of our time. Again, Tarus, it's definitely a noble cause. Listen to what I'm saying. So salute. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to take that away from no black man. It's definitely a noble cause. But I think a bigger win for us is us starting to move as a unit, right? Us taking care of each other's families. I make a vow to truce. Hey man, if anything ever happened to you, man, with your wife, your kids, I got you, bro. I got you like you my brother, bro. Right? But while we here, we should be helping each other build. You got to play. I drop plays all the time, but people don't pick them up. It's all right, though. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, though. You know what I'm saying? I keep trying to tell you, it's all G, right? But again, I never wait on nobody to do nothing for me, bro. That's just the way I rock. And it ain't the bull. It ain't the pull yourself up by the bootstrap shit. You got to have boots first. That's what you saying. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to have boots first, right? Yeah. But I'm saying, and I said this before, and I'll say it again, right? All of us is grown. We don't have the luxury of thinking like a 22-year-old, right? We know how the world is. We know how the world works. We got to move within it unless y'all ready to war to change it. And when I look at my brothers, nobody's ready to war because nobody ain't going to promise me they're going to look after my family when I'm gone.
Word.
All right. Now, so before you go into anything else, I want to play this last video of the evening and we can continue this conversation. This is Brother White. Everybody know who Brother White is. I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say about reparations and how the church could help with reparations in 3 years if they would do this. Listen.
The black community look if most parents did the same thing you just did and put $1 million policies, accidental death and dismemberment, things like that for their children.
We'll have reparation in 3 years. But imagine if the church really cared about black people, why not they having corporate insurance policies? And they have to bury these people. Why don't they provide corporate insurance policies like Jobs do? Why don't the church do this, homie? And they really forgot. The money you paying tithes with to the pastor, there go your insurance policy money. So why don't pastors say, hey man, I just brokered a deal with a life insurance company and we're gonna make it where all members can get life insurance policy through this church. Why don't the church do that, my nigga?
Change the whole community.
Come on, fam. You know why they don't do it? Because your church have got in bed with the state. State and church have always been separate. But because your pastor want a tax break from all this goddamn money he getting, he now gets a tax break, 501c3. So now the church and the state is in bed together. That's why you see pastors now politic with politicians. Homie, they're not supposed to be in the same place. 20 years ago, they started calling it a faith-based initiative. Now the church get a 501c3 tax break. Now preachers can't preach about anything no more because now they work for the government. So of course they're not gonna be empowering for us. So anytime I hear a nigga say he a preacher and he got a church, nigga, you work for the government.
Damn.
What else is there to say, Nick?
Man.
Damn.
The church was intended to be the bank for the black people. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If y'all look at big church again, shout out to Whitey, right? The Jesus Church of Latter-day Saints. Do y'all know they actually operate their church as a bank for their members?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can go to the board and get a loan.
Yeah. We have churches here in Michigan, man, that actually they have their own bank now, right? They have their own apartment firm, right? You can get an apartment through the church. You can go, you can sign up and be in the bank for the church. So your tithes will come through your bank, right? Where you don't have to wait till Sunday to give tithes.
They come right off the top.
They come right off the top. You can set an allotment for it to go straight there, right? They don't just have tithes. They have all kind of different other committees that they have for you. By the time you leave these churches, man, you done spent over $100. And again, to what White was just saying, they won't do something as smart as give you an accidental death policy, annuity. They're not going to, man, that's taking money out of their damn pocket right there, man. They're not even allowed to now. When they had the chance to do it, when they wasn't in bed with the state the way that they are now, they had a chance. It was so funny, man, where I used to go when I used to ride up and down Detroit, and I look and I say, why is it that every bank, right, that's empty end up being a church? I don't know if y'all see it in y'all city, but if you come to Detroit, you will see churches getting started inside of old banks. You like, this shit used to be a bank. A lot of them do it. 501c3.
Churches in my towns get brand new buildings.
501c3. They start out. I ain't talking about I'm not talking about the churches that's established now. I'm talking about the ones that start. Everybody trying to start a doggone church. They got 12 members. And that's including a deacon. That's including the reverend, his wife, their children, and a couple of other doggone friends. Y'all seen them churches? Them churches. I'm not talking about the whole mega church or nothing like that. I'm talking about the ones that's just starting out. This is what they're doing. It's a reason why these things happen. It was crazy where I saw that. And then it used to be this, where there was a church, right next door to the church is a motorcycle club. Kept trying to wonder, why is they doing that? Why are they doing that? 501c3. It's easy. You can buy them outright. $1,200, you get it outright. You know what I'm saying? And you get a tax break. All of it is financial.
Yep. Because in Louisiana, you can't do that. In Louisiana, you cannot you can't have a bar within a mile of the church.
That's it. But the thing is that it's not a bar
or anything that any liquor sales or anything like that.
No, that's not a liquor sale. So this is what it is.
Talk to me.
They're private entities. An MC is a private entity.
Right.
No liquor license. No, it's just a club. It's just a house.
I'm in one now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's privately owned.
Right.
So that means that you don't have to. So if they say that the clubs have to close at a certain time, 2:30, 4 o'clock, you don't. You can stay open for as long as you want to, because that is your private owned property.
Right.
That's why the church, because you're right, in Michigan, it's the same thing. They can't be within a certain feet of, places that sell alcohol. Motorcycle clubs is not that.
Right. And you
That's
know what?
the reason why.
So that says a lot about, in Louisiana, they have, right before you get to the Mississippi state line, they have a strip club right beside a church.
Yeah, we couldn't do that.
Now,
Matter of fact,
I used to go. I mean, somebody told me about it. Out there, it's out there, right?
Wow, he was in there praising them hoes.
You didn't do your investigation. BMU on the.
Hey, Uncle Rick, somebody told me long time ago. And if you come out there about 7 o'clock in the morning, shit, you come out about 7 o'clock in the morning tired.
Telling you, man, everything.
You see people going to Sunday school.
Yeah, I hear you, man. School. Yeah. You're right, school. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I done said this before, and people hate me. They hate me, and they say I such. I don't know, man. I just call balls and strikes. I call it like I see it, man. I'm too old to lie to y'all, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Everything, mostly everything. I'm gonna say 99% of the dogma of black culture is detrimental to its own people. 99% of the dogma in black culture is detrimental. The black church ain't shit. I keep trying to tell the black church in mass, right? You get the, and I say that convinced because if you in a good church, most people know they church ain't shit. Most people know it because you go home and you talk about the pastor and how everything all messed up and what's going on, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a fallacy. It's a ruse, and we need to get away from it. We need to destroy it. I keep trying to tell y'all this shit needs to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Not refurbed, not reworked. It needs to be destroyed, and something needs to be built from the bottom up, because everything is built against us. Everything that we thought that was supposed to be for us has been corrupted and turned against us for that reparations, nigga. For that reparations, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't stand to be in a
yeah.
It's disgusting to me, bro. It's disgusting what they do with God's name, man.
Yeah.
What you saying is absolutely 100% true. Everything, and it's funny that it had to be these last 2 years that we have where everybody, it pretty much is right in front of your face. And what I think was crazy is that it's still shocking to a lot of people, right? When you tell them, you're like, nah, the church is screwed up. They're still, well, not all churches, right? That'd be their argument to you. But you will see it. They're starting to, television is starting to be videoed right in front of you. You have people fighting in church. You have people getting shot in church. You having people out here. I mean, it's bad. Look what's happening right now where everybody is cussing out the reverend. Look at what's happening right now. The evangelist and the first lady is up there preaching to people. And eventually what's happening? She's getting cussed out or she's cussing somebody else out. I ain't never heard this much cussing in church ever.
Man,
at the podium.
I just heard a female pastor say to the women of the church. She said, it is sinful for a woman to go down on a man. And it's also sinful for a man to go down on a woman. Nobody said nothing. I couldn't have been there. I told you, a motherfucking lie. The Bible says that your bed is blessed, and under your bed with your wife or your spouse is blessed under God, and it doesn't matter what you guys do in your bed. You can't sit and tell people they can't eat pussy and suck dick and they married. You crazy? What is wrong with these people? You crazy. That's why your ass should not be up there. Sit your ass down. I'm telling you, man, listen, I can't do it. I can't do it. If I go to a church and a woman get up, bro, I'm walking out.
It's going to, but it goes to what Rick was just saying. Rick, we ain't got to tear it down. It's imploding right now. Look where you have all of these pastors sitting back and holding up their husband. The pastor, my lovely husband. His voice deeper than mine.
The first G.
It's crazy that we see it and it's imploding right in front of us. People are just shocked. That's why we don't have to worry about this whole thing, somebody calling you a conspiracy theorist anymore. Because you can see it now. You can see it coming right in front of you. That's the craziest part about this. So the arguments it shouldn't be as much as they are. Now, the discussions we have, we definitely got to have these discussions, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Just to be aware so we can make each other aware. You know what I'm saying? But when we're talking about these things, church is one of them. It's imploding. It's about to be torn down all the way up until what's that little country that controls all this shit? What's the name of that little powerful ass country?
Oh, Vatican City.
The Vatican.
Yeah.
Look what's happening there. We see it already, folks.
Yeah,
let me ask you a question based on the video.
Right? Take your ass out though. You ain't getting up in that Vatican.
Based on that
video. Hell no.
Can you guys hear me? Based on that video, do we know any churches who are actually doing what Charleston White was saying?
Yes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
No, I'm talking about black churches. Maybe.
Yes.
No.
I know one.
I don't.
Just one.
Do you? I mean, is there any statistics on how that's working?
I have no idea. I know. I'll say the church name. Friendship West Baptist Church. Freddie Haynes. He was just the president of the Rainbow Coalition.
Oh, okay.
The new rainbow or the old rainbow?
The old one.
The old one. Away with dope, up with hope.
But at Friendship West Baptist Church, here in Dallas, they have their own credit union, and the interest that they use, the interest that they charge on their loans for black people, they use the interest to pay the employees.
Yeah.
And to pay for the bills in the facility. So and what they did, but they started out good though, because what they did was all the payday loan. He found out in that area, because the church is in the hood, in that area, every fucking mile there was a payday loan place or and he was finding out that it was 200%. They were charging people 200% on those loans. So most people go in and get a $200 loan and end up having to pay the motherfucker back $1,100.
Come on, dog. They did a payday loan?
Bro, so no. What he did was he said he found all the payday loan places, bro. It took him 2 years.
Oh, okay.
But they shut down every one of them bitches. Right now, and you go to that neighborhood around that church, all those cash play day long places are closed, empty. They cleaned them out,
which they should be,
because he got the business then.
Yep. And he opened up. He has a credit union. Yeah, he has a credit union, and the interest is used to pay the employees and the facility costs.
So one of them that I see that's actually doing it, that is the Detroit Baptist, the Triumph. Yeah, I have no idea what the outcomes are with a lot of these.
I don't know either.
You got a couple of them that's trying to follow, not the exact model that Charleston White was talking, but yeah, that's crazy, man. But it still gets to a point where I'm kind of like with Rick. You got to tear this shit down and build it back up.
Yeah, because you know what they do, and also I'll say this: they do have there's a health month thing that they do, but they are associated with somebody that does sell life insurance and sells insurance, period, like health insurance, all that shit. Because when they have their Sunday, they have people get their. They have when you go upstairs, they got it all blocked off. You go upstairs, they have people check your blood pressure. They have pharmacists there. They have nurses there. They have people there signing people up for life insurance, people signing people up for United Healthcare. Or if they don't have healthcare, they have people there from the state that provide children with Medicaid, Medicare, all that type of shit, bro. So Haynes been doing it for years.
So we're talking about that's just a piece of the puzzle, correct? I mean,
yeah.
I can see how we could extrapolate that. You know, one of the things I think about as individual Black folks, you know, if you ask a random or the typical Black person, and I'm not saying being a segregationist, but you say, well, listen, you spend money every day. When was the last time you gave $1 to somebody who was a Black business owner? If you ask somebody that, a lot of people, if they think in their minds, well, shit, man, I can't remember. In the South, you'll see that a lot more than you'll see in the North, right, I'm sure. Right. So what I'm saying is, I'm not making any kind of big movement, but in my own way, the way I try to give back, there's a lot of shit I purchase every year. I mean, every month, right? You know, there's some like for the beard, I grew this stupid shit. I said, well, you know what? I got to take care of it. Well, a lot of Black folks have issues without make sure their beard's okay. Who's the Black business that I can buy my products from?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's one. Another thing is, you know, I'm still kicking myself for not being an entrepreneur of comics when I was a little kid buying those shits for 2 cents a dime, you know, and I went to college with my whole collection and shit was gone when I got back to the house. But you know, there's a Black-owned comic business that he just built his. In 2 years, he built this new enterprise. So I buy his shit. I buy some shirts. I buy a few things. So I'm saying, well, you know, how do we give back where it's you're gonna buy if you like something? I'm not saying force it. It's got to be something you need, something that's beneficial to you for your dollar. Why don't we can do that because all of us as individuals spend money all the time. All the time. You know, you don't even have to force it. Is there a Black-owned business, not a Black business who just caters to Black, but a Black-owned business that we can give our dollars to on a regular basis for something we actually need?
I like that concept. I like that concept that you said as far as like,
and that's a good show for you on Monday too, R-Pain.
Yeah, but Black-owned.
That would be a good show for you on Monday.
Yeah, Black-owned that caters to everyone, right? Something that's Black-owned that caters, it makes a lot more sense.
That you're not just giving them money to them because they're Black. It's something you actually think value.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the exchange of commerce, right? It's basically and that's the thing. How do we get out of the mindset of it's just Black spending Black dollars? How do we get that dollar to revolve around so it can actually make money, right? The problem that I see is that we don't have a lot of people, even I'm talking about people that actually, they got money, they live in great neighborhoods and stuff. They even think kind of outdated, right? Because I have family members where I'm just like, they're doing good. They have been doing good all of their adult life, right? But they get to start talking about this whole thing of seclusion, but then at the same time want inclusion. And you know what I'm saying? It's like we want to separate ourselves from the rest of the people, but then we want people to respect us and be involved in their stuff. It's a weird way of how they're thinking. And then they say, just spend black dollars. How do we shouldn't even know unless we know who the owners are that is actually a black dollar, right? And a lot of the stuff that we have black people that own, if you got some people that's owning like software and you know, software companies and you know, they have an engineering type of company or whatever it is that they have, you wouldn't know that they're black folks unless you do your research, right? And so then you have people that can invest in them, into their business, right? Stocks or whatever it is, or you have people that just does business with them. Right. The reason the problem I see when we keep talking about black dollars, we keep, and I ain't got no problem with it, man, but the only thing we be trying to sell to one another is clothes. We used to try to do mixtapes and shit and you know, things like that. And we're not thinking outside of the box. We got a lot of talented people, just like what you was just saying. A man just came up, and I know a couple of black men, and I think a black woman and her husband, they own comic book places themselves. That man been collecting comic books since he was 8 years old. This man is 60-something years old. He has his own company. You'll see that a lot here in Michigan.
But you know what, though? You know, the crazy thing is, also, and I don't mean to say this because I love my people, but we don't have no. How can I say it? Let me get it together. When it comes to customer service, or it comes to like anything like that, bro, like it's just like we're fucking horrible. And it's
you
like
got the angry black woman at the desk.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, what the fuck you eating today? You know, damn, what? You know, like even the turkey leg hut in Houston is huge.
Didn't they go out of business?
They went bankrupt. You know why? Because they tried to tell everybody that was wearing a bonnet and basketball shorts, everybody got to dress up now to stand in line.
Yeah,
it was over.
The husband and wife fucked each other up too, though. I thought they did.
Yeah.
But it goes down to the respect that we have for one another, right? The people that own these buildings and the ones that are patronizing these buildings. Also, I think it goes both ways. Just like when you have, I don't know if I told y'all, I just came back not too long ago from the A, right? And I went down. We was in Midtown. And we go to this one restaurant. I can't remember the name of it.
You went where?
To Atlanta. To Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to Midtown. You went to Midtown.
Nah, I went with my family. I went to Midtown, and let me tell you something. I didn't like the restaurant, dog.
You got to be able to pume.
I didn't like the restaurant. It was too damn loud. They was playing a bunch of rap, vulgar ass rap.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear the waitress when she was trying to get your order. She couldn't hear us when we were trying to give it. It's like this new way they trying to do it. And I'm like, you could tell it's black owned. And you seen the majority of people that was in there were black people that were patronizing it, right? But the way that we communicate with each other, it's like, why is it that, remember we used to have this problem, black man, where a black person has a business or they're trying to get a business. And the first thing that people see is that person with a business, and they ask that person to give them a discount on something. That's just crazy, right?
You know what? I used to design shirts and do all that. I'm gonna get back into that business too. I miss it, but the fucking cost got goddamn quadrupled. Yeah. But anyway, but people used to tell me the same thing. Man, that's a nice t-shirt business you got going on, man. I know you selling shirts, bro. Hey man, I know you selling them like 25. Hey, can your boy get a couple for $5, $10? Nigga, what? Nigga, you know how much it cost me to make these fucking shirts?
Right.
Design and shit. You crazy? You crazy as that shit.
Yeah, but that's an easy fix though, right? You just don't bend to the bullshit.
No, but that's not the point. The point is that they do it at a high level. it's a high level. This shit it's kind of like national. Wherever you go and you have people, that's why when you, and this is the thing, this is what I learned, Black man. The closer they are to you, the less they respect you.
But JT, here's my thing, right? You know, in America, I think we don't, we really don't master the art of bartering. I think in the rest of the world, they barter over everything, right? And there's techniques to it. I think in the Black community, they lean on the Blackness. You know what I'm saying? If you were in like a foreign country and you wanted to buy a trinket or you wanted to buy something, everybody tries to barter on the price. Unfortunately, in the Black community, they barter on trying to hit your little emotional, hey, we're all Black, man. Give me a no. You know, come more correct than that. Yeah. You're right. Your first inclination is right. When we were trapped in Jim Crow, the businesses in the Black community thrived because there was nowhere else to go. So that means two things. Either you could be lax on customer service and shit like that. That's what hurt us. So when integration really came big time, you know, people flew. So you're right. You know, we should, out of anybody in this goddamn world, we should be the goddamn professionals on bartering. We should be the professionals. Yeah, that's a crazy thing for a person to come to me. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
it's a crazy thing, right? So it's a crazy thing for a person to come to me in a predominantly, and when I say predominantly Black, I'm talking 90%, 88% Black, right?
What's their strategy? Tell me what your strategy. They're trying to lean on your Blackness.
That's what I'm saying. So it makes no sense for them to try to do that because your surroundings is 90% Black. So to tell a person that ain't nothing around them but Black folks because we Black, motherfucker, he is too, she is too, she is too, right? That shit, that definitely won't work over here in Detroit.
Say, listen, try something else. And shit.
Right, the short people got to stick together some shit. Skinny niggas got to stick together, something like that. But you can't say, you can't use Black.
That's always the biggest difference between white, Asian, Latino businesses and Black businesses is unfortunately we have a habit of trying to cater to a specific demographic, which is Black Americans. Guys, we're only 13% of the population. So when people, sometimes people don't really understand what that means. You got a lot of Black populations concentrated in certain areas. So that means there's certain states, guys, that have limited to no experience with Black people. So if you're a Black person in a predominantly white state, how can you start a business trying to cater to Black people when the majority of probably white or Latino?
I mentioned that yesterday.
You're selling do-rags in the suburbs.
In Iowa, trying to sell goddamn money.
No, if you're a Black entrepreneur, based on the product that you're trying to sell, it should be for everybody. Matter of fact, even if you could, I don't want to say hide, even if you could put the fact that you're Black in the background and what you're trying to sell in the foreground, that'll be better for you.
Yeah.
You want everybody to be your marketplace, not just Black folks.
Yeah, because that's the difference is everyone else's business is for everybody. Green is green. You know what I mean? We're talking about money circulating in the community. We're typically using the examples of a Chinatown or like on the West Coast or in the East Coast. But we forget these migrant communities, the money circulates until what? They get educated, they go to university, and then they spread out. And then guess what? That Asian dollar is going to that same white or Latino business. That Middle Eastern dollar is going to another white or Latino Black business. You get what I mean? It only matters for that first generation. We as Black Americans keep thinking that we can start that when that's not how it works. And then we're so spread out. And then our demographic, let's be clear, we don't have a lot of pure Black people anymore, right, JT? We got a lot of mixed people. And with a lot of mixed things come with a lot of different variations of what the consumer is wanting. And so, yeah, like BM said, like you can't be in Des Moines, Iowa, trying to sell do-rags and wigs and like that. You can't be in North Dakota trying to sell Swisher Sweets or some shit like that.
Right.
You got to expand.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying that we should be. I mean, idealistically, we should be like we should be the professionals of bartering. We should be the professionals of hunkering down. But I understand what you're saying because of the countries they come from. Think about this. If you go to a lot of these colleges, right, and you look at the Asians and how they live, instead of them living in the dorms, they would get them a 2-bedroom apartment, and 7 or 8 of them be staying in that damn apartment. Yeah. It's the way that they do it. They go grocery shopping. They designate 2 people to go grocery shopping. They alternate a lot of different things, and they hunker that thing down for 4 to 6 years, right? And then they just keep, alternate. And next thing you know, they got their whole family. I know in Ann Arbor, bro, you would see so many families from other countries that had populated that city for the simple fact that once they got their education and they get higher and higher education, a lot of those folks end up being doctors and they stay there, right? That probably wasn't what they intended on happening, but it was the way their family would come and they would say, listen, we're going to find out how to get loans so we're going to rent us a house and you can stay with us, right? And then you got the whole family. It's so many different ways on how they do it. But what I look at is, I say, well, damn, we could have, we got we got the actual, we got the sauce. But the problem is because of us being sold this dream that never came to fruition, right? You go to college, you get an education, everything is about individualism, right? Instead of saying, look, you and your cousin, y'all both getting ready to graduate from high school, right? The family come together and be like, look, let's get these folks where they can go. They both can go to Central Michigan. They can both go to Fair State, FAMU, or whatever. They got the grades for it. We're going to work out for all our kids. This is what we didn't get from the older generation, so they can get them there. We should be having cousins graduating at the same time from college, or cousins having businesses together because of we don't even have that anymore because we're so far apart. We think our families are small now. All of us in America, black folks think that we got small families. And we got a large ass all of us got large families. Just don't nobody know each other no more because of this individualism. That's what it is. So when we keep talking about trying to spend black dollars and the community and this and that, the community is broken. I used to say that we don't have a community. That's a lie. It's broken. And it's not broken just physically; it's broken within inside our minds.
Of course.
Yeah. To JT's point, you see the Mexican, whether they're Mexican Americans or immigrating over here, they really come over here. They go like, "Hey, my brothers and the cousins, we're gonna open a landscaping business. We're gonna pay for the girls to go university, and they're gonna run the books for us."
Yes. Everybody is doing something. Let me say
this though, but let's put it this way though. Even I don't want to say even. A lot of cultures come over here, whether they come over here or they are here. They have culture. They have something to lean on. They have tracks to run on. So even if they're bad guys, a lot of them still remember the face of their fathers. So what I'm saying for the black community, the culture, the environment, and all that shit has just been stripped.
It's been stripped.
It's been stripped, and we allowed it to be stripped because I think we listened to. I mean, if you talk to a random black guy, they'll say, "Well, we're not a monolith." But even the past election tells you that that's not true because we all vote one way. We've been doing it for 5 decades, right? So that's monolithic thinking to me. So if to say that doesn't permeate into all the other aspects of our lives, it's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's just a national election, I mean, it permeates through our mindset that we're a certain way. Ultra-liberalism, anything goes, sucking on a woman's tit, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we do it, so we can't just blame it on the honeys because there's a whole bunch of men who, they got their mama and
you got to be able to pume.
They're fuming their moms. So all I'm just trying to say is,
you know, you're getting that cut out, right? He doing it right now. He doing it right now.
I don't know. Listen, I just think that if we don't get devastated by World War III, 2028 is going to be another revelation for us. But I just think that all is not lost. I think all is not lost. I think we've seen a good start. But hopefully, just like Taru says, listen, I'm not against if some epiphany happens and the government gives people reparations. I'm not going to be a guy standing on a podium saying this. Don't take the check. I'm never going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it coming. But I think we still need to do shit for ourselves where we're at. At the disadvantage that they left us and all that kind of stuff. What do we do to propel forward? When I look at you, Tarus, I bet you your life is better than 90% of the white people here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We could argue that if you want to, but it's probably more right than not.
No, I agree.
So how is that? That's all I ask people. How is that?
I don't think that.
I had a dad pain. That's what I credit my dad.
Yeah, but I don't think that financially that black folks are doing bad at all. Like I said, I think it's more of a mind thing that we have because we've done what we was talking about with the immigrants were doing. You got to remember, we also have our ancestors that were doing it not too far away, our pain. They were coming from the South, coming up to the North, right? They were getting places. Yeah, and they were helping the others to come up too. So the money that they were getting, it was sending down south. They was getting people up here. One of the biggest things I know in Detroit, and that's why they call it the Motor City, because we had an influx of black folks that came up here. That's why when you looked in our city, you seen pretty much all black people, right?
All black
to
people
this day,
big houses, JT.
With big houses, nice cribs, all of that. And one of the things is because we had the big three. We had Ford, we had GM, and we had Chrysler, right? But we also had Wonder Bread. We also had the Hudson Building. Like, this is an industrial, the city itself was. The state is more of an agricultural state. And you would be amazed at how many black folks had farms, because that damn farming industry, it took a lot of people's lives, man. That shit's crazy. But we've already did it. I think that is the separation of our thoughts. And I'm talking about from one generation to the next generation. We had that. We had it in our culture. That was the reason why, even like the bartering thing. It comes. The joke comes from that. You can go next door, get sugar, ketchup, whatever it was that you needed, right? You had people that was giving their appliances when they get new appliances. Hey, anybody want this appliance? They still do it to this day in Detroit. Anybody want this appliance? They give it away. It still work good. It's a nice thing. I just don't want it. They got a thing here in Plymouth, Michigan, called It's Junkin' Day, or a lot of people will look at it as estate sales, right? Y'all know it's like the garage sales.
Yeah.
They do it like in May, June. Bro, when I tell you, people are giving away whole kitchens. I'm talking about cabinets, refrigerator, all of it for $100, $200. Some stuff, they got TVs, they just giving away. They just put it out there on the lawn. They just give it away. And you have people that's going over there and getting it. The bartering system is there, and you have people that actually say, listen, I don't want to be a hoarder. I don't want to be a person that just keep having all kind of shit. So they give it to people. What we have right now is a separation of the meeting of our minds. That's what we have right now. We think it's worse than really what it is. It's not. It's only worse as what we make it or what we put it out to be. Even when we talk about the churches and things like that, the thing is that this stuff is televised. It's televised.
And you end up like this.
That's hard to believe. But if you ever watch Pop the Balloon Show when a guy says, I don't want no baby mamas, the balloons are popping like a mom. It'd be like, think that's hard to believe. But if you ever watch Pop the Balloon Show when a guy says, I don't want no baby mamas, the balloons are popping like a mom. And it'd be like one or two left. You know, it'd be like 1 or 2 left, man.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Oh my God.
Bro, man, but you know what, man? We're gonna end the show with that, bro. I love y'all,
sir.
bro. And man, that clip right there gonna have me crying. I'm over here crying, man. Oh my God. Tyrus, man, welcome back, bro. I'll be sending you the link, man.
Yes,
welcome back, brother. Good conversation with y'all tonight, man. Shout out to Rick. I know he had to get up and go to work in the morning.
Yes,
so
sir.
shout out to him. Thank you. I appreciate that. Man, shit's so funny, bro. But before we get out of here, man, I want to play a little something for y'all. And then we're going to have the outro, man. And we'll see y'all on tomorrow night. My brother from another mother, Boss Man, Tim and Cameron's little brother, going to have his show tomorrow night at 8:30 Central Standard Time.
Can we talk a minute?
Sports show tomorrow.
Yeah, so he'll be talking to the show tomorrow. I need to put it in the thing because he sent it to me a little late because he wasn't feeling well. So I'm gonna put it. So as soon as I get done, I'll post it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna play this real quick. I'm gonna hit the outro, man. But thank y'all so much for supporting the show. Go ahead and hit the cash app if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the sports show at 7. And soon after that, we'll see you guys on Stand on Business podcast with our boy Tevin Cameron's little cousin, Boss Man, tomorrow night at 8:30 Central Standard Time. All right, y'all. Here we go. We'll play this, and then we're gonna hit the outro. We'll see y'all later. Peace. Guys, another one in the books, another great episode on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Listen, we're doing the thing over here. So guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, which helps the channel, hit your boy Cash App. It's scrolling right here, right there at the bottom of the screen, and support the channel. But we're happy that you're here, and we look forward to seeing you on every episode. So hit the notification button so you know when we go live. Thank you again, guys, for watching. We out.